Welcome everybody. In today's video we're going to talk about the Qidi X Plus 3. All the cool features and all the cool prints I've done on it, and we'll get into it right after this. Welcome back. How you like my new intro? Made that, I don't know, last week sometime. Well, anyway, around 5 days ago, I got this in the mail from Qidi. They sent out to me no charge, and they want me to test it and review it. I already have their Qidi iPath right here to my right, which is a larger version of this printer, basically. And, yeah, I had a live stream and I had a couple issues. I unboxed it, and I cut the bottom, pulled the top off. Then I couldn't find the USB stick or the paperwork, which was in the top, which was actually the bottom, when I put everything over there, but I eventually found it. And then my first print, that went terrible. Loaded up some PLA. Now it comes with ABS filament, half a roll. And I showed it to everybody, opened up the package, but I wasn't planning on printing with that because on the SD card they didn't have any pre-sliced G-code files that I could print. So before the live stream, I sliced a file. I done a benchy, of course. I got to do a benchy. And loaded it up, loaded the filament, ran it to the extruder, heated up the hot end. Nothing. Couldn't get it to extrude. My throat was clogged in the hot end. It's got a direct drive hot end. So after the stream I contacted the company. I don't want to just start tearing stuff apart. And it was very simple. You take out 2 screws to move the hot end. And then you pull out the sock. You take out 3 more tiny screws. Then the throat pulls out. And in the top of the throat, in the cool zone, there was a small piece of red filament and a burnt bit. So that I couldn't have pushed that through, and it was in the cold zone. So once I took off the nozzle, I pushed that out, got it back together after the stream. It's been working beautifully ever since. But some of the cool features I'd like to talk about this. It's got a build volume of 280 by 280 by 270, just a little bit bigger than my Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon. It does have an annoying fan on the control board though. You can probably hear it humming right now. So that needs to be changed, but it's okay. At least you know the thing's running. Kind of sounds like a small mini fridge. It's got a heated build chamber up to 65°C. That's the same as my iPath behind me. Let's see, I'm using a Qidi print for the slicer. It works great. Use that with iPath also. There are my other printer here. It's got dual Meanwell power supplies underneath it. I'll show you a picture here on the screen. It's got the flex plate has some notches so you can easily align it. Get that print out of the way. Got a steel flex sheet, textured bed. It has notches on the bed so you won't misalign it. You simply slide it into place, kind of like the Bamboo Labs. Boom, it's good to go, drops down. It has a heated build chamber. It's got a heater in the back left corner. I'll show you pictures here on the screen. It gets up to 65°C, so if you're printing high temp materials, you have the door closed, you have the top on, and you won't have any warpage or any layer line issues, or not layer line issues, layer separation issues, and that's a nice feature. One thing I do not like about this door only goes that far and stops. It does not swing all the way back. On my iPath machine, it goes completely back out of the way. So when you have this sitting on a shelf or somewhere, you can only open it so far. You go any further, you're going to break the door. Why they didn't put a different style hinge like they did on the other machine, I really don't know. But you know, that's one downfall about the door. It has Clipper installed on it. Clipper works great. If you want to get into Clipper on your computer and mess with settings, you really shouldn't do it. They've got Clipper tweaked to work specifically for this printer. But if you do, I forget the address to get into it. You can contact the company or maybe on their website. If you really have to get in a Clipper and you want to tinker, you would have to load that up on your computer. The USB stick is on the top and the back. You can reach it from the front. If this was pulled out and I had this on a shelf, I'd easily be able to grab it, which is right there in the back. You can probably see it right through there. On the iFast, it sticks out the front, and that's one thing I never liked on the Qidi iFast, is that it sticks out in the front of the machine. You might accidentally bump it, or you could break it opening and closing the door. So that's an awesome improvement. They put it on the top and the back. The filament, the spool holder goes on the back of the printer. It's out of the way. It's in a dry box, and I'll show you that here on the screen also. It's a nice location. It's very sleek. The only problem is, if you have this printer sitting on a shelf with other printers, you want to change filament, you'd have to spin the printer around every time. So the solution for that is to set the dry box, which has a flat bottom on one side, next to the printer on the left side. Since it feeds in on the left, right before the filament runout sensor, just set the dry box on the side. But I got some different video clips here I'm going to show you on the screen and talk about it. And the only real negatives that I have is, like I mentioned, this door does not open all the way. It goes to here. No big deal. And the control board fan is fairly loud. So that might need to be replaced out with a Noctua or something like that. It is fairly loud. So, but other than that, it's been printing great. I've had no trouble with it. Like I said, I've only been using it for 5 days. And whenever you're printing with PLA or TPU, you simply take the top off. If you don't, it builds up too much heat, you're going to get a clogged extruder. So with high temp materials, like ABS or carbon fiber, it has little notches. You simply set it back on. It keeps all the heat in on the heated build chamber. Okay, got done. Let's take a look at it. Oh, nice. Very cool. And here's a cap for it. Came out amazing. Wow. And stringing. Very cool. Okay, we're testing their black ABS. They sent me the printer for the first time. And it's called Ultra ABS GF25. Got the heated chamber set at 50C. Build plate is heating up to 100C. And the print temp, I believe it's like 270. Something like that. I forget what I sliced it at. It was a default in the slicer when I picked their filament. And I'm printing an organizer, as you can see on the screen there, off of printables. See how it comes out. Okay, I just downloaded their 15-minute speed benchy from Qidi's website, and I'm giving that a try. And since I already had some silk filament from TH3D loaded, we're going to print it in that. Okay, let's take a look at all the prints I done in the order that I done them. Okay, right after my live stream, once I got the clog out of the heat break on the hot end, I went and took some TH3D filament that I had purchased, and I done this little benchy that I had sliced up in Qidi print. It came out really good. I didn't remove any of the string or anything on it, so this took, I don't know how long it was, like 25 or 30 minutes. And yes, we do have another benchy coming up, though it's a 15-minute benchy. Came out pretty good. I love the color, though. It's a beautiful color. And then I have a Gothic dice tower. Came out really good. And that's from Clock Spring. The only problem with it, when I printed the cap that goes in it, it falls straight through. So I've contacted Clock Spring if he could size it up just a little bit. I could experiment and size it up slightly and then print it and then reprint it and then reprint it, but I don't have a lot of this filament left, so I'd rather just get the correct size. But that came out nice. And this was going to be an enclosure for it, but as you can see, what happened? Yes, it happened. I had a power outage. I don't ever get power outages here in Las Vegas. I mean, once every couple of years, briefly. The power was out for a minute, and guess what? The printer doesn't have power loss recovery. I couldn't save it, so that's as far as it got. And I do have a backup down there. My CyberPower 1500 VA, but what the printer currently isn't plugged into it. So yes, I lost it, and that was a bunch of filament. Beautiful color, though. Then once the power came back on, I reprinted that. And here's a box for it. Beautiful colors. This is from TH3D Studios, and it's a spaghetti filament. I forget the color, but basically this slides in there, like so. And when I was printing this on the bed, since it only has, you know, a few tiny little areas for these 4 legs, and I didn't have the bed perfectly level, I'm going to assume. Anyway, to sum it all up, I put nanopolymer adhesive on the bed. I tend to do that on all my flex plates. That way I don't have to worry about a print failing or something happening. I put nanopolymer down and then it printed fine. But when I first started printing this, one of these little circles right here got kicked out of the way, so I had to stop the print. Put nanopolymer adhesive on the bed, the little brush that I use quite a bit, and then it was fine. Then I went over here, and on their filament, the ABS that comes with it, I got this off of Printables. It's a little organizer where you can put your USB sticks, memory cards, pencils, you know, whatever you want. The separate little box that snaps on the bottom. Did that in ABS. And that had cranked the bed up to, I think it was 100C, which basically burned off most of that nanopolymer adhesive. So once this was done, I had to go back and reapply it on the bed. And I got this little tower here, a dice tower. I believe this came off of, I don't remember, Printables or My Mini Factory. Yeah, I think it's My Mini Factory. And this is at 100% scale as designed. This little tower just slides onto that little base that printed next to it. Beautiful little filament. As you can see, there's stringing in there from the silk filament from TH3D. But that's easy enough to take out. You can pick it out or use a heat gun and it'll just disappear. So, real easy. Or even a hairdryer if you got a hairdryer. And that just slides back on there. And then I figured, you know what, that's too little. Let's do a big one. So then here's one at, I think, around 195%. Made a real big one here. Check out those colors. Printed really nice. I got clips here on the screen that I'll show you of all these things when they're printing. Came out really good. And then I got on Qidi's website and I found their file, pre-sliced file, G-code file of a 15-minute benchy. And since I already had this filament loaded from TH3D, I did the 15-minute benchy. And here it is, 15 minutes. I'll show you that on the screen also. But that's a beautiful color. 15 minutes, that's pretty damn good benchy. Don't you think? Very cool. Came out nice. Excellent. But we'll jump in, we'll check out their website. And yeah, personally, I think for $7.99, this is a great deal on this printer. $7.99. It's marked down from like $1,099 or something like that, as you'll see here on their website. But, and like I say, my only real negative is this door. You know, it goes that far and that's it. So I wish it swung all the way open. But I mean, that's fine. I can live with it. I just, well, remember not to bump it once you have it open. Don't walk past it thinking it's going to swing back. Let's take a look at what we got inside here. And that fan you're hearing is right behind that panel. That's where the control board is. And that's a control board fan that's running. There's a parts cooling fan there on the left side. Similar to what they have on the Bamboo, but the Bamboo's is on the left and this one's on the right side. So, pretty cool. Take a look walking around the back. It's got some carry handles on both sides, 4 notches. Excuse me, there's a notch on each side, but you can easily pick it up and carry it. I'm looking at the back. Here's the dry box, which has a large bag of desiccant in it down below. And it simply feeds up through the filament runout sensor. So basically when you load filament, squeeze the clip here, pull it down, you can run it all the way to the hot end to feed filament. Then it'll grab it from there. Or you can just, you know, when you load it here, you can do that also. You know, you can pull the spool out, you feed it in the hole right down here, and it'll run it up and run it all the way around. So, and that's to keep the filament dry. Just covers the 4 little snaps. Well, 2 of them didn't snap on me. Anyway, but if you don't want this on the back, or if it's not convenient, unscrew this knob, take this off. It's flat on the bottom, and just set it here next to the machine. You know, then we'll just run around the corner to it. So that'll work fine also. Okay, I got the back panel taken off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 9 screws. Take off the back panel, and here's the control board. And I'll take a picture of this so you can see it at the end of the video also. And this must be that noisy fan right there. That must be the booger right there. It has a 64-bit processor. It's got 2209 silent stepper drivers. It does have places on the board where you could add other components, and there's extra plugs on the board if you needed to add things in the future. But since it's a complete unit, the only thing I would say to add would be a camera. If you wanted to hook up a camera and hook it up through Clipper. Currently, I don't know how to do that, but I'll find out. But it is possible that can be done. Rig it, add a camera to it. Possibly set it in front of it, or make a separate mount to have it watching your print. It has 2 sets of hot ends that come with this. The one on the printer, then it has an extra one. One, the nozzle is a copper alloy. Another one is a hardened steel nozzle. They both can reach 350C. And on the bed leveling, it's a 16-point bed leveling system. And we're going to jump over to their website real quick, and we're going to take a look at their website, and I'll give you some more details about it. If you should ever need to work on the hot end, of course, at some time you will. Instead of having magnets, it just clicks up, and there's 4 little catches right there. They just click into place, and there is your extruder / hot end right there. And then on the back side, if I get the camera around here, it'll have a small door so you can check to see if your wires are plugged in. And right there on the back, Got a small door there, it lifts up. And pulls out. That way you can see all your connections, your wires, whatever. That way you don't have to actually unbolt the back of it. Just take this little door, keep the wires in there, and you slip it back down. Okay, here's Qidi Tech's website. And see, new releases, new released. They're X Max 3, X Plus 3, and X Smart 3. And we have the X Plus 3, 280 by 280 by 270. And they're currently $799 to the US, normally $1,099. Take a quick peek of the specs here. Faster speed, 600 millimeters a second. High flow, 35 millimeters a second. Acceleration up to 20,000 millimeters a second. Does have clip run ward, Core XY, high speed extruder, 64-bit processor. Yeah, I like the gears here on it. Two sets of hot ends. And there's our family of printers. There's everything that comes with it. Dry box, 500 grams filament. So, and like I say, the other ordinary hot end, as they call it, is an extra, and it has a hardened steel nozzle in it. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and leave me a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. Tell me what you thought about my video. What do you think about this machine? Are you considering getting one? You know, currently they're it's on special. They're $7.99 on their website, which actually that's a great price. Very good price. You get good bang for your buck there. So, and at the end of the video, check out these pictures. We'll have some pictures from the company, and a picture of all my prints. So please stick around, watch all this stuff, and have a great day, guys. Later.
My appetite, don't leave me here.